Ten things still at stake in the 2022 F1 season. The double-headed Formula One final in Brazil and Abu Dhabi in 2022 feels like the end of the term, as both of these championships are already decided. But even after that, things won't be as intense as at the end of the 2021 season. There is plenty of things here that are still at stake. Some of them are still important as the lower championship positions. And as the action is back on track to form guidance after the action-packed Brazil round, it has shifted focus for the future with the final grid positions in 2023 decided and the chance to say a final goodbye along with several faces, notably four-time F1 world champion Sebastian Vettel. Want to know about it in detail? Well, stay tuned till the end. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will talk about 10 things still at stake in the 2022 F1 season. Meanwhile, subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. That being done, let's start. Can Mercedes win a race? For a team of consecutive winners like Mercedes, a single race win in 2022 doesn't make much sense. But psychologically, it would set a positive turn for another disastrous campaign. Toto Wolff even said when asked directly that he'd rather Mercedes win one of the remaining two races than beat Ferrari on points because winning will be proof that our car is back. Fight to win. Wolff also said Mercedes simulations still show that winning the previous two races is doable, but since Mercedes cannot beat Red Bull in a full-time head-to-head battle at Mexico, with all the advantages it has to offer in terms of VW13 mitigations that entail high downforce settings while not having to unduly affect aerodynamic platform stability at impact, it's hard to see how Brazil or Abu Dhabi offers a better opportunity. The fact that the Interlagos is more abrasive than Mexico City, with a shorter main line, will benefit Mercedes, but more bumps could mean an impact on vehicle height, and the lower altitude will increase drag penalty and promote the inherent aerodynamic efficiency of Red Bull. Mercedes becoming Red Bull's closest rival once again is certainly doable, especially in Brazil, but is likely to be met with favorable circumstances plus a bit of Lewis magic. Mercedes is unlikely to win for the first time since 2011, and Hamilton's winning streak in each of his F1 seasons so far will end at the 15th attempt. Red Bull's final uncompleted achievement. Sergio Perez has a slim 5-point advantage over Charles Leclerc in his fight for second place in the Drivers' Championship. And while no driver dreams of a second place in the standings, it will improve by 2 places from his previous best of 4th last year. The situation is similar for Leclerc, who finished 4th in 2019. That will also be important for Red Bull, as the only thing left for them to achieve in F1 is a championship double for the drivers. With Max Verstappen's title and Builder's crown already sewn up, securing second place for Perez will be a priority for the team. But what is clear is that Perez cannot count on Verstappen's help to do so. Naturally, Verstappen is determined to add 2 more wins to his record 14 of the season. As he said in Mexico, when asked about the possibility of helping Perez win the Grand Prix at home and thereby help his teammate finish in 7th place. I think as long as he gets to the finish line before Charles, that's the main focus in every race, and I'm here to win. Perez has momentum on his side as he has finished ahead of Leclerc in 3 of the last 4 races, but with 60 points remaining thanks to 8 more points for the Interlagos sprint, Perez or Leclerc taking second place is 50-50. First battle. The idea that Alfa Romeo would be threatened by Aston Martin for 6th place in the Constructors' Championship in the final stages of the season used to seem ludicrous. The Sauber-run Alfa Romeo team's strong start to the season means that after the 9th race of the season in Canada, they are on 51 points to Aston Martin's shoddy 16. Since then, Alfa Romeo's results have declined seriously, with only 2 points after the last 11 races. He's only 6th on the leaderboard, but the money and title of beating his opponent mean he's likely to go all the way to the final round in Abu Dhabi. Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso has only been beaten by his teammate once in Formula One, but Esteban Ocon is 11 points ahead of his Alpine compatriot and could join Jenson Button at McLaren in 2015. to become the second driver to achieve success. While Alonso has also been beaten by his countdown teammates in the past, ahead of Hamilton in 2007 and Tarso Marx in 2001. Though both zero in this case, to score more points than the two-time champion will be a feathered hat. Alpine against McLaren first time. For these two teams, something is at stake in F1's bigger picture than which team finishes fourth in 2022. For McLaren, a fourth-place finish would represent stagnation after a particularly difficult season, in which the team failed to start as it should after fighting so closely with Ferrari in 2021. Having Alpine finish fourth this season would represent the best championship record for the Renault team since 2018. But what's more important this year is the fact that Alpine produced the car, the fastest car apart from the top three, and seems to be more capable than any other team right now to close the gap going forward. Who will choose for 2023? It's a huge decision for Guenther Steiner and Gene Haas. Steiner may be hoping Ricciardo will decide F1's sideline life is less appealing than the race in 2023, but seems to have ruled out that he will sit last on the grid in favor of a role. Subs have been debated with Mercedes or Red Bull, unconfirmed, and Ricciardo set the stage for a showdown between Nico Hülkenberg and Mick Schumacher. No driver has been banned from a Formula One race since Romain Grosjean in 2012, but Pierre Gasly is on the ropes after taking his total of super license penalty points to 10. This means that if he collects 2 more races, not only in the last 2 races of 2022, but also in the first 7 events of the following year, the 1 race ban will automatically be triggered. Gasly is heading into his last 2 races as an AlphaTauri racer and said in Mexico he is aiming to score points in 2 of the last 3 races. He didn't make it to Mexico, so he will aim for the top 10 in Brazil and Abu Dhabi as AlphaTauri battles to beat Haas for 8th place in the Builders' Championship. Can Daniel Ricciardo end at the top? It all depends on which version of Daniel Ricciardo appears. The Suzuka Key 1 Ricciardo looks much more comfortable in the updated MCL 36 and shows that Lando Norris Austin Ricciardo's pace is pathetically slow and seems in the best position to call it a day on the spot. Mexico City Ricciardo got close to Key 3 and raced brilliantly in that final stretch, finally feeling the car underneath him, no longer feeling like a passenger in the often too unpredictable McLaren when entering crap for him. Constantly showing the best version of yourself. Ferrari versus Mercedes for second? Ferrari or Mercedes don't crave the second place in the Constructors' Championship, but it would be a significant achievement for both for very different reasons. And it's also lucrative as race estimates that each step on the leaderboard will be worth somewhere in the $11-12 million region. Ferrari is leading by 40 points with just 103 points to play, so are the low-stakes favorites, and they only need a strong finish in the remaining 2 races, plus the Interlagos sprint, to ensure that he will lead Mercedes. Sargent's mission for a super license. That is important in the sense that Williams has promoted a driver who is technically not eligible for next season's F1 race. But that's also completely insignificant, because if Sargent is good enough to be a Grand Prix driver next year, he must also be more likely to finish his Formula 2 season in a way that allows him we are free to spend. He is currently 3rd in the F2 standings, and if he stays there, that should be more than enough. But he is only 25 points clear of Juri Vips, who is 10th, ahead of the final 2 races of the season in Abu Dhabi. If the Sargent falls out of the top 6, he could be in trouble. So what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below. And that's all for the day, guys. If you found this video interesting, make sure to hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update from us. Thank you for watching. We'll see you at the next one. Until then, peace.